Lesson 5, the ultimate combo, right hand arpeggios and left hand magic. What happens when you combine right hand arpeggios with a variety of left hand techniques? Pure musical magic. In this video, we'll show you how to mix and match to create dynamic, expressive sounds. Get ready to explore a whole new world of piano playing. In this video, you'll learn a basic right hand arpeggio pattern and left hand variety to enhance your playing. Let's talk about arpeggios. They're very useful and they're very cool sounding. So if you really want to impress a friend, you can use an arpeggio to really make your music pop. So here's an example of an arpeggio. Let's say I want to start in second inversion C right here. Then I can use an arpeggio to go up. Okay? Or I can go in F. Or I can go in G. Okay? Or even D. Or E. All right, and you don't have to play it exactly the way that I'm doing, but you can use simple, short arpeggios. Okay, so we're going to start with a very simple arpeggio. Let's start with C major, and we're going to go in second inversion, so we can easily use our thumb to hit the first note of every arpeggio, okay? So we're just going to go up actually just 2 octaves, okay? So when I say 2 octaves, an octave is a series of 8 notes. So we're going to go up 2 of those, so 16 notes in total. So from here to here would be considered an octave. From here to here would be considered an octave. From here to here is 2 octaves. So we're going to go through the span of that. Okay, so let's go slowly through this, and actually let's introduce our metronome again, and we're going to go back to 40, okay, from here. Okay, now you're going to use 2 notes per beat that you hear here. So when you hear a beat, you're going to play 2 notes on the piano. Okay, and once you feel like you've gotten that under your fingers, then you can start to increase the beats per measure on there. And I'm going to let you do that on your own. But now let's look at the G chord. Let's start with first inversion G. Starting on B, then to D, then to G, fingerings 1, 2, 5. Let's let 4 beats go by. And remember, 2 notes per beat. If you got through that, great job, okay? Now, if you need a little bit more help, let me just break it down just a little bit. So this pattern requires you to move your thumb under the same way that we would be doing a scale. So you need to move your thumb under and cross under to get to the next note in order to play that arpeggio. Okay? And then backwards when you're coming back down. So you're playing these 2 notes, then your thumb comes under, then your thumb comes under again, And now your pinky is going to be the note to land on the way down. Okay? Same thing with the C chord. Thumb under, pinky, pinky, okay? Now let's look at the F chord. We're going to do arpeggios in the F chord. Let's use the F first inversion, starting on the A, fingering 1, 2, 5. Let 4 beats go by. Remember, 2 notes per beat. Ready, go. Cross under with the thumb, cross under with the thumb, pinky, come down with the pinky. My rhythm was a little off. Let's try it one more time. 1 and thumb, thumb, pinky, pinky, pinky. All right, so if you got through that, great job. So let's say I want to use my left hand in order to not only just beef up the chord, but also to play with the chord as I'm doing arpeggios on the right hand. So you can do things like this. So remember how we had played an octave on the left hand of C and C? Well, we can break that up a little bit. And we can also add one more note, introduce one more note into it. So in this case, I'm going to introduce the note G right in the middle of that. G is the 5th of C, and if you play it all together, it doesn't sound too muddy to where if I introduce too many notes. Something like that would be a little bit too muddy. But this is a little bit more open, it's a little bit more spread, it's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, okay? So that's what I'm going to use. So if I were to take this and I were to break it up like that, before I started my arpeggio on the right hand, then it would sound something like this. Okay? You can speed up that, the way that you play it, or you can have it slowed down. Okay? Same thing if you were going to go into the F chord. Same thing if you were going to go into the G chord. Okay. Now let's look at the D chord in the inversions for that. Let's start with a first inversion D chord. Okay, let's start with 40. All right, so that's the D chord. Now let's try the E minor chord. So there's your E minor chord. Now let's try adding the left hand to beef up the D major arpeggio. So we're going to find D octave, and then we're going to add A, which is the 5th of D, in the middle. Okay, now we're going to try adding the left hand to beef up the E minor arpeggio and also play with that. So what I did is on the left hand I added the E's and then I put a B right there in the middle. So if I were to add the metronome to that, sound like this. So now we've gone through C major arpeggio, F major arpeggio, G major arpeggio, using inversions from the previous video. And we've also added the D major arpeggio and the E minor arpeggio, using left hand techniques to break it up and make it sound beefier and make it sound nicer. And this is all going to come to a culmination at the very end of this video series. So congratulations for getting through this video. I'll see you in the next one.